Hello, entrepreneurship. We're back again, and as you can see, I have a totally blank presentation up here, and now's the time for a little experiment. We've gotten you around the interface of the program. I've shown you how to add designs and some transitions. Now we need to talk about when you're actually putting words on the page. And as you can see, this page has no words, but that's not the point. The next one does. So we're going to have a little experiment, and I'm going to give you precisely 4 seconds to read as much of the next page as you possibly can. So, and I'll give you a warning. 3, 2, 1, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, bingo. Now we're on page 3. What did you read, or what were you able to read from page 2? My guess is next to nothing. And that's why, because I put 3 bullet points on page 2. The first one said shorten to the point. The third one said engage the audience. If you were lucky, you got one of those two. But number 2, I threw a ringer in there for you. And I just put this long-winded bit of nonsense. And unfortunately, this is what most people tend to do when they are making a video, when they're making a PowerPoint, is they want to just get across as much information as possible, so they jam-pack these things full and no one ever reads them. Because when you're doing a PowerPoint presentation, the point is not to dazzle people with your ability to write. It's to dazzle people with your ability to speak. So the point is number 1 and number 3. You want your bullet points, the points that you are making, to be short and to the point, and you want to engage the audience. Number 2 here, now I just want to tell you blah, 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 is something that should never appear. But let's back up and go back here. That is point number 1. Point number 2, and the only other point of this video, is when we are doing our title, and if you notice right here, we are back on what would be the title page, and I'm going to enlarge this slightly. Come on, there we go. Okay, this is my title, M-Y-T-I-T-L-E. It's short, right? Well, there are ways to actually make this a little bit better looking, and one of the easiest ways to do that is to mess around with the font. And if you'll go up top here, and it's on the Home tab, you'll notice that third from the left, it says Font. We can also bring it down. You can supersize it if you want to, but we don't really need to do this basic stuff. We're going to show you a couple of things. One, it's easy enough to change the font. Just make sure that if you do it, you change it to something that suits what the rest of your layout looks like. In other words, with this you could put a flowery script, you could put a lot of things. You wouldn't want to put Comic Sans. But anyway, getting back, so let's go back to where we were. Was it Garamond? Yeah. Okay. You've got a short title. Now, subtitles tend to be a little bit longer, but with the short title, sometimes what we want to do is make it look a little more like, oh, the title that would appear on a book or in a movie. And one of the ways we can do this is adjust the spacing. And one of the nicer ways to do this is loosening it up a little bit, and that's the AV adjustment here. We can also click over here and add a text shadow very quickly. Something else that's kind of nice is that we can change it to a lighter gray, and all of a sudden you've got something that's quite nice looking, even though it's still short, but it's eye-catching, and that's really what you want to do. You can also, because it is short, enlarge it. And then here you've got my subtitle. And this I would keep more simple, more simple than the title itself. It could be a little smaller. You could put this in all caps if you wanted to, which means you can go down here to Font and go to what's called Small Caps. Click OK, and you've got this cool little effect there. You could actually do that with the title. Once again, discretion being the better part of valor, which means keep it simple. Don't do this everywhere. Do it in places where you want to highlight something. And that's pretty much it. The only other thing I want to say, and this is something that you're going to hear in class many, many times, is when you are looking at bullet points and you are doing your presentation, do not read. These are supposed to be attention getters, nothing more. I want to hear what you have to say, and so does your audience. And that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you for watching.